Hey dudes, my name is Riert, and in this video I will explain how to move to UK as an EU citizen. I already made a video a while ago about how expensive is Glasgow, but I didn't explain how I got here, so I decided to milk the topic just a little bit more. There might be some differences for countries who require visa to come here, and probably there's some differences because of Brexit as well, but this is how I did it 3 years ago. The beginning process might be a little bit complicated, but once you get all of that out of the way, living here is easy and quite nice. I moved to UK, to Glasgow in Scotland to be precise, just because the economic situation in UK was a lot better than in Latvia, where I come from. So to come here, the first thing you will need is some money so that you can survive and not die until you find your first flat and your first job. I came here with my girlfriend with about 1,500 euros, and it was well enough for both of us to survive until our first paycheck. The second thing that you will most definitely need is a national insurance number, or NINO, in UK. This is so important that you won't be able to do pretty much anything without it. And here is where it starts to get complicated. So you need to make an appointment to get the national insurance number. But to schedule the appointment, you already need a UK phone number and a UK address so that they can post you the national insurance number once it's completed. And no, they will not send you the NINO via email or via text. UK loves their mail and they will use it at any opportunity. And no, they will not give you the national insurance number without an address in UK. This is how I did it, and I'm not sure how legal this part is, so hopefully UK authorities are not watching this video. I had a friend in UK who called on my behalf to national insurance so that I could have the meeting 2 days after my arrival in UK. And I was allowed to use their address as if I was renting a room with them, which I was. After I landed. The meeting was very easy as long as your documents are all right and you answer all the questions honestly. People working there were really nice and very helpful. They even offered me a translator if I needed one. So schedule your NINO appointment for the very first few days upon your arrival, and that's it, your NINO is ready. The third thing is super easy. While you're waiting for your NINO appointment on the very first day or the second, just get yourself a UK phone number. The prepaid cards are super cheap. You can get them in any shops. They cost about £1 or so. You will need a UK phone number for finding your first job, for renting, for banking, for setting up your new flat with Wi-Fi and electricity, for city council, and many more things. So get this easy step out of the way on the very first or second day you come here. The next thing you will need is a CV so that you can start looking for new jobs. And you could get this out of the way even before coming here, and then only just add your new UK phone number. It used to be quite common in many workplaces that people just walk in, hand their CV, and ask for a job. But because of the whole GDPR thing, a lot of workplaces now refuse to take your CVs just because it contains a lot of personal information and they're not allowed to keep them. And a lot of places just now have staff wanted posters in their windows. Some places like H&M and Starbucks and Apple only let you apply for a job through their websites. And the majority of jobs are now just listed online, and there are so many websites offering jobs that you just type jobs in, enter the city you want to live in, and there will be billion job offers popping up. The job market in UK is in a really good position, meaning that there's millions of different jobs out there, and you either have to be super stupid or super lazy not to get a job. And I've even seen those guys getting jobs. So I believe that if you're not skilled, not educated, have no job experience, and you don't even speak English, but if you want to work, you will definitely get a job here. So it might take you some time to get a job, but if you actually try and look, you will surely get a job somewhere. So you have two options. Either you go to every single place, give them your CV and ask for a job, or you go online and just apply to every single job website or their external job websites. I did both things just to be safe. If you need any printing or copying done, for example, those CVs or other documents, UK doesn't have a lot of printing services available around, especially here in Glasgow. If you want, you can sign up for a library card so you could have access to books, movies, but most importantly, computers, internet, and printing services in the libraries. But if you haven't signed up to a library card, they won't let you use the computers and all that stuff. But this is quite optional, but I do think it's quite convenient, especially in the beginning of your move, to be able to access computers and internet just before you're getting everything else set up. Okay, so we're looking for a new job, but to get paid in a legal manner, we need to get a bank account. But before we even think about getting bank accounts, we need to get proof of residence, so we'll first find ourselves a new home. Once again, you can find flats anywhere online. We found our flat in Gumtree ads. And now you have to choose between a private landlord or an agency. The difference is that letting agents are more likely to understand legal procedures. Most experienced letting agents will have a better understanding of the law, which means that they're more likely to ensure that all legal requirements are met both by the landlords and tenants. Letting agents are more expensive. Most letting agents charge their tenants application fee, which average about £100. Also, letting agents often charge both tenant and landlord admin fees whenever the contract is expired and needs to be renewed. My contract has to be renewed every 6 months, and we just quickly do it in 20 minutes and both go our own ways. And to think that I would have to pay admin fees every 6 months doesn't sound very exciting to me. I guess we were really lucky because we have amazing landlords, they know all the laws and regulations, and we never have any troubles from either sides. But I have heard horror stories where landlords add their own weird terms in the contracts. For example, like I could come over whenever unannounced and stay the night if I wanted to. Or that the private landlord visits you every second week just to make sure that you haven't messed their apartment up already. Or maybe that person just couldn't be trusted, I don't know. It's your choice which one you want to go with, but I remember that Royal Bank of Scotland asked for a proof of residence, and they said that only a contract done through agency will be accepted. But Royal Bank of Scotland wasn't really interested in having immigrants using their services anyways. Once you have found yourself a flat, it's time to go to City Council, register yourself so you could finally pay that wonderful city tax. It's quite easy, you don't need an appointment, you just Google where your city council is, go there, get a ticket, wait for an hour, and they'll just register you. Now you want to get a Wi-Fi and TV in your house. Both are optional. I don't have a TV, but I do need Wi-Fi. Just go to any mobile services branch and just ask them for a good deal. The weird thing about having an internet connection at your home is that you have to pay for the internet and for the fact that the wires are connected to electricity separately. I know it sounds weird and confusing, but that's just because it is. In a normal country, they just tell you the price of the internet and they connect you, and you have internet. But no, not here. For example, the internet will cost you about £3 to £15, depends on the speed, which is alright. But then, you also have to pay £21 just to have those wires connected to electricity. You can choose between different mobile service companies like EE, 3, Virgin, or the one that I don't want to mention, giffgaff, because the name already is a cringe. And in their window displays they will have posters that will say, "Get the best super fast fiber internet for only $10. And underneath in smaller letters it will say, "The fucking wire charge is not included." And when we say super fast, we actually mean quite slow in comparison to other EU countries. And that's internet connected for you. And now finally the bank cards. For some reason banks do not want to give people bank cards, or at least make it more difficult than it should be. Before you go into a bank and ask them for a bank account, you basically first have to bring this huge folder of documents that prove that you're not a criminal and you're not trying to scam the bank. You just need a bank card. The documents that you will need to bring to the bank will be a passport, NINO, a letting contract, the council registration number. Then you'll need at least one bill that has your name and that matches with your address as a proof that you actually live in your home that you have a contract with, and a letter from your workplace as a proof that you actually work somewhere. And this is where it gets tricky, because when you get accepted in a job on your induction day, when you sign all the contracts, your workplace will most probably ask you for your bank account. My workplace was really nice. They just let me sort all the banking things after I signed the contract. Some banks are not as crazy as Royal Bank of Scotland and the HSBC Bank. For example, I'm banking with TS Bank for over 3 years and I've never had any problems. So a big shout out for them to having a great customer service. But if all that seems too much of a hassle, there are now these new online bankings. Not exactly sure how this thing works, but apparently you just sign up online and they send you a bank card and give you a bank account, and there's no physical bank branches. It's just everything's online and your bank account's online, your bank is online. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think you can just Google it. I've seen some people with those online cards and it seems to be working perfectly fine, and they just use it as regular bank cards. So I guess that's a good alternative if you're in a hurry and no other real banks will give you bank accounts and cards. And that's pretty much it. You have everything to start living legally in the UK. It might seem crazy and overwhelming, but if you just do these things step by step, it's not that bad. There is a possibility that things have changed, especially because of the whole Brexit bullshit, but the main thing should stay the same. Also, my apologies if I have forgotten some things. It's been a while, but I thought this might be useful to someone. If you have any questions about this topic or any questions in general, leave them in the comment section. I will reply and I will pretend to be an expert on this topic. Or maybe you have some additional information or suggestions that might help someone. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it useful, leave a like. And I will also leave a playlist of all my country videos in case you're interested. Or if you want to see my future videos, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!